visited the universities and other hospitals only, but came into these startups, and also they are much experienced. And yesterday their inauguration was very impressive, and it's very knowledgeable also. So being in touch with these people, it will be very beneficial people like me. So I really appreciate IKP to have me here.
Hi, I'm Dr. Manapuram, and I've founded this company called Medev Plus. It's registered as Tishas Medical Device Development. People know it by Tishas and Medev Plus as well. And I'm the managing director of the company as well. The company started with two other managing directors, Shweta Patnaik and Smita Patnaik, and Dr. Matthew Kurian is an ophthalmologist at Chaitanya Eye Hospital as well. And then we have other funding partners like PMC, Photonics Marketing Company, Mr. Atulya ji. We have VIT TBI, who gave a Bayrak seed fund. And we are also supported with BIG and Elevate from Government of Karnataka. What we do here is we are diagnosing glaucoma at a very early stage. And this diagnosis can happen anywhere, at any point of time, and can be done by anybody. It's a very portable device, and it can be carried in the flight as well as in the on the bike. It has been made so robust that it can be carried anywhere. It uses a very proven technology called optical coherence tomography. It is a 3D imaging technique. It passes light and gives a 3D structure of the eye. And from the 3D structure of the eye, we develop something called as a retina nerve fiber layer thickness map. And that thickness map gives the initial glaucoma, causes of glaucoma. Now, since it's a 3D imaging system, it has much more potential as well. We can also look at age-related macular degeneration. We can also look at diabetic retinopathy, keratoconus, keratitis. So the entire eye diseases can be diagnosed using this technology. But currently we are focusing on glaucoma because as of now there is no tool which can identify glaucoma at a very early stage, and glaucoma being the 12% blindness causing disease that is prevalent in India. In fact, WHO and NBM from NH, all they prefer that every person who is 40 years and above needs glaucoma screening at every 6 months. So that's the requirement as of now, and that is what we have developed. We have passed our regulatory 2 days back, and we are ready for the clinical validation. We have tied up with few hospitals to get our clinical validations done. And the next step we have is to make it further small, so 6 kilograms. We have already designed, we have patented, we have one patent filed internationally and 2 more patents following up. And the entire product release is planned for this financial year, before March 31st, 2023. The funding is very important because it's a deep technology product. As of now, thanks to Indian government and thanks to Karnataka government and thanks to VIT who supported us, right now we have very low margins. We see there's quite a lot of imports in here. We are looking to raise close to 5 crore so that we can convert this product to a completely indigenous, so that we can have more margins in our product. So that's the kind of amount we are planning to raise. This particular product is equipped with so much technology. It has got an OLED inside, which was researched by multiple hospitals, and that data we have used. We have made it in such a way that one shot, it takes less than 2 minutes to get the entire scan of the eye. So it is designed in such a way that anybody, any vision technician, even a high school pass out can easily use the system. Anganwadi workers can also use it, and like a set of 100 people can use it. Are trained, then this device can be taken up by the government and even internationally. It's it's very easy to get trained. Actually, when we heard first time about My Startup TV, it was like, it was like a river flowing to the right tributary. It was like amazing. This is what something we really want, and we can go right fishing. It's for both for I think investors as well. They can find us, and we can get exposure to the right audience. There are multiple platforms, but that's getting exposure to the right audience is very, very important. I think that's what you guys are doing.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Rajesh Yadav, CEO of Aerobasis Innovations Private Limited. We are an IIT Hyderabad incubated startup. We are incubated at Center for Healthcare Entrepreneurship. We basically develop medical devices, smart medical devices for ICU care products. So our first device is Jeevan Light, what you see right in front of you. It's an adult and pediatric based ventilator which can be controlled from a distance. It has an IoT feature. That's a key feature that we required during COVID times. That's when we wanted the help from the doctors. When doctors are in close contact with their patients, they might get the contamination from them. So that's when we thought if we can control the device from a distance is what our overall idea was. We have a tab over here, 10-inch tab, which can be detached also and can be controlled from anywhere from nearby, or also if you want to control the whole system. In a rural setup, you have some doctors, and there's a doctor, well-established, experienced doctor in city, and they want to control the system, see what is their exact current monitoring status. That also they can do it by logging into the system. That's a key feature. In terms of cost, we have placed ourselves at 4 lakhs. As we compare with respect to our competitors, they will be like costing around 15 lakhs. With that, we have 1/3 is the price is what we were, the major part, a novelty which you want to place. We are already deployed 65 units. So using support from USAID and other different partners, government partners like Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, and BIRAC. This is like a very ideal product for anyone who's from tier 2 cities. They have like very small bed size of 10 to 15, and they want to afford for upgrading their hospitals to as compared to a tier 1. That's a market which we have tapped in, which is a market which is not so far tapped in by the international brands. So because of the cost advantage, they are very keen to buy our units. That's why we have 200 plus pre-orders right now that we're currently working around to build the inventory and scaling up. That's our major goal in the next 6 months. We do have 3 products in our portfolio. This is the second device which we are working. The first one is the differential lung ventilation. That's the world's first differential lung ventilation. Though we consider lung as a single organ, there's like 2 different compartments. If one lung is infected more than the other, can we do it a differential way is what our hypothesis. With that, we did the initial set of product. It's almost an upgraded version of this, where you have 2 different flow rate, 2 different pressure, and then each lung can get different pressure. That's the first device. The third device is the JV Fit. It's like a smart vital monitor. It's like a watch which you can wear it. It will be able to collect SpO2 vital monitors, and that can be connected to a system. It will be like a full feedback loop where the diagnosis will be done by the watch and the therapeutics will be given by the system. So that's like we're trying to tap into all this devices which is required for critical care. That's how we are trying to get into the market. So we are looking for raising $2 to $3 million at an evaluation of 100 crore. That's like next set of plan. This for increasing the scale up, where we have a target of around reaching 1,000 unit sale by end of 2023 and 2024. That's like we are part of a Mission Bharat program where we want to deploy this ICU care products in rural setup, so that the rural setup people who have these kind of problems, they don't have to be dependent on a tier 1 city. They have to travel all the way to a city. They lose their daily jobs. It's not just them, the relative also lose it. And they go to a burden of paying the loan. So those things can be dropped down if we can deploy these kind of units into a rural setup and enhance their quality of care. We are looking for CE certification. So we have finished almost 50% of the paperwork. We are now looking for it. So it will take around next 3 to 4 months to get the certification in process. And then we are open for European, Asian and African market. IKMC 2022 has been a great experience. We have been part of this IKP for a long time, and this is a great exposure for any startup like us at whatever stage you are, even prototype or in a commercial stage. It helps us to connect with the investors who are coming in, and also to pitch your ideas to new people who are looking to invest also. And also there are sometimes you also look for internships, and someone who wants to join the company to also get an exposure. That's something which we are currently exploring. Let's see how things works out.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Good evening, everyone. I am Professor Shoumojit Roy. I am the co-founder of Solar Initiative Private Limited. We are based out of Kolkata, Bengal, and we are incubated in West Bengal Webel BCCI Incubator at Salt Lake in Kolkata. Our product is an innovation. It's a very portable modular oxygen making device. As you know, during the COVID period, we developed it with our own science, our own deep science and technology. We developed the product. It saved millions of lives. So it solves the pain points in the oxygen industry. So at a time when our health system was outstretched, this innovation came in handy for our friends, for our near ones, and as well as the community in that region en masse. So which is a pleasure and a beauty, and that is priceless, because we think that healthcare should be affordable. And as Dr. Devi Shetty says, and my dad is also a medical doctor, according to them, if healthcare is not affordable, it's no healthcare at all. So our mission is to make healthcare affordable, portable, and take it to every household so that no lives are lost. So the cost of this right now is 30,000 rupees. We are giving a discount of 5,000, but we are also exploring tech transfer possibilities, because we are scientists. So we want to do a tech transfer, and we have the vision that there will be 2 modules available. One is the cheaper, inexpensive one, which should be very less, and one high-end one with a lot of beautiful add-ons like IoT implementation and Uber kind of implementation. And that will be a little bit expensive one. So we want to reduce the price, one below 10,000 segment, and another one maybe 40-50,000 segment. So that's our vision. So it's a commercialized product, but now we have the market traction. If you Google, for example, Solar OM Redox, you will have a lot of internet traction. And recently, I'm very happy to say that recently Honorable Prime Minister launched this product in Pragati Maidan, and the Science Minister also inaugurated this product. So it came under the innovation of 75 innovations in 75 years of independence, and that was an initiative initiated by BIRAC, which also connected us with the IKP knowledge platform. So we are now partnered with IKP, and we hope that we can take this innovation further, so that if anyone needs oxygen, we want OM Redox to be a household name here or even in Mars. So we are in the process of nucleating that ecosystem. So this is our first product. We have several other products in the pipeline. So this product, we now want to do a tech transfer, layer by layer tech transfer. And that's where we are partnering with IKP, because they have a lot of experience and expertise, so as to make this scaled across continents, across the countries. And this will make the dream of Made in India come true at high innovation and high deep science tech space. So that's our business model. Basically, we want to license it across different countries. So we are having discussion with Bangladesh. We are also in the final stages of discussion with Webel, who is licensed. We are in the process of licensing it. So licensing is our model, and we have non-exclusive license. And we are also looking forward for partnership in southern India, meaning Hyderabad and around, because this is the most happening place so far as innovation, deep science is concerned. this has been an awesome experience. We are extremely thankful because we have come across an extremely talented set of people who cuts across the edges of expertise with legal knowledge as well as epistemology, which is a rare combination which we see in the IKP team, right from the CEO right down to Harshata Wadkar and Bandhana. So we have an excellent team. They are working together seamlessly, and this has been a wonderful experience. We were able to connect with top people, decision makers, and we were also see the possibility of even nucleating a tech transfer right here in Hyderabad. So we are extremely pleased. We didn't expect so much. So we have our hands full, and we are very, very grateful to IKP as well as BIRAC for giving us this opportunity. I think this is a unique initiative, I would say, because my startup, what you are doing is really a platform. Because, startups, what they look for platforms to be promoted. People who are doing startup, they are not doing it for revenue sake only. They are doing it because it's a passion, and they need facilitating platforms, because platforms are like yours, my startup, can make a difference, and they can really take the startups like ours to doors and across barriers, because nowadays people don't read newspapers. Everything happens on Twitter, on Facebook in real time. And that's where seamless technology and seamlessly integrated platforms like Mike's startup and similar initiatives can create a new ecosystem. They can become a new fourth pillar, so to speak, of this fabric where executive, legislature, and judiciary, if you consider them as three pillars, then these type of platforms can become the fourth pillar, and they can enable us and they can reach us, take us to a different level. So I think it's a wonderful initiative, and we hope that we can also, be part of this initiative and help each other and giving back to the society. That's also the dream, I think, of every startup owner or startup initiator, because at the bottom of our heart, we are trying to make India a better place to be. So it's a wonderful initiative, and thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
I'm Dr. Nageshwar Rao. I did a PhD in protein chemistry. So my company is Bicus Therapeutics. Bicus Therapeutics is started by University of Hyderabad's alumni. We are into some of the niche areas of biopharmaceuticals. We were working on the biosimilars in the rare diseases and some of the biosimilars which are not available in India and which are not affordable by the Indian patients. We have already commercialized 2 products. We have licensed the technology to Indian companies, and we are working more on other products which are in pipeline. So we are presently on the B2B. We are strong in R&D. We develop the technology, and the technology will be transferred to other companies. So this is fantastic. We have got opportunity to a lot of people, a lot of innovators and entrepreneurs and business people. So definitely this is a big experience for us.
Good morning. This is Rohan Tripathi. I'm the founder of InnovoCare Health Sub Solutions Private Limited. Now, if any of you follow cricket regularly, you would have seen that this year during the IPL auctions, the auctioneer Hugh Edmundis had a fall, had a blackout and fell down. That is one of the symptoms of autonomic neuropathy. That is what we are trying to diagnose here. If you see that autonomic neuropathy has not one but many symptoms that tremendously degrade the general quality of life, and this increases a lot with when you have diabetes, when you have old age, and even with some diseases like long COVID. So what we are doing here is we are recording your body's response when you are performing certain activities like change in posture, when you are doing activities like sustained hand grip, when you are doing a Valsalva maneuver, and we are comparing it with the medically set parameters results. We are following the Edwings et al. That has been accepted by the medical fraternity globally. The way we entered working into this was we had developed a very simple prototype of a head-up tiltable test for one of our mentors, Dr. Shamansdar, at the School of Tropical Medicine, Kolkata. Upon setting this up, we found out that the diagnostics required with that simple seesaw-like head-up tiltable test were severely lacking. After understanding that, we went to a lot of doctors for people involved in the medical education fraternity, and there we found out that a lot of doctors, they are saying, when we are asking them, do you think your patients, especially the diabetic people, must have this test done? They are saying yes. Then we ask them, how many of your patients have done it? Then they give us a smile. That's why we critically understood and tried to understand why this test is not happening. We examined the existing devices in this who are doing this partially. We found that one of the issues was the price was an issue, accessibility was an issue. Another issue was these devices are very bulky devices where the software runs in a separate PC or computer. That you can understand increases the price by 60,000-70,000. And if you think of the range of this problem, in India, the diabetic numbers are not a surprise to anyone. Even the elderly boom is absolutely at our doors. So that's why we think this is the time to look into this product. It's not about what I think, it's what the American Diabetes Association recommends. They are saying that for everyone with type 2 diabetes mellitus, everyone should have periodic testing of autonomic neuropathy. And even for the elderly, this is also critically required. Even these days, the doctors are saying for people who are rehabilitating or recovering from stroke, the stroke patients, to understand the quality of rehabilitation, this is required. Even these days, they are saying, the medical science is saying that for the sports people, because the sports people have to go through a lot of checks to see their physical fitness is at the best levels. You can perform a yo-yo test to get your external fitness done, but what about your autonomic neuropathy? So for these responses, it's essential to have tests like this. Currently, we have completed the individual parameter testing successfully with a very positive result. We have received the bioignition grant, and up next we are heading towards the testing in the medical clinical setting with near about 100 patients in a hospital with a medical supervision. Currently, what we are planning to do is enter near the commercial stage, gather as much as data from the grants that we have raised using BIRAC Big and initially Nidhi Prayas. Once we have sufficient data, then definitely we will require a lot of funds, because for a medical device, the clearance and the diagnostics, and we don't want to be restricted only in India, so the international licensing also will require sufficient amount of money. There was a lot of interest, not only from the doctors, but also people in the medical research community. They showed significant amount of interest, and they even, as we are taking some time developing it, I frequently get contacted and calls like, how far are you? Have you done it? Like in this upcoming 14th November is the World Diabetes Day. So yesterday only I got a call from one of the doctors who is one of our biggest supporters. Like, let's have a screening with your device on that day. I say, just wait a little, let us get some momentum, and then we will proceed. It was absolutely great attending the IKMC 2022. I have been here previously in IKMC 2019 as well. Last 2 years I attended the online versions, but being here physically, meeting the who's who of the medical innovation community, it has been just awesome. And also meeting a lot of my mentors here also. So it has been a great learning experience.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Sanchit Jhunjhunwala. I'm one of the co-founders and the lead product design engineer for Translead MedTech. We're a deep tech startup based out of IISc Bangalore. We've grown out of the M22 lab there. We're working on the Stand at Ease assistive chair, which is basically a chair that helps you sit down and stand up. So currently we're working on finalizing the DFMA prototypes, which basically give you something that is optimal for manufacturing. We've already completed the basis prototypes for validation, and the assistance that is provided by these chairs in standing up and sitting down is currently being quantified by multiple modalities: EMG, GRF, and communicable feedback. So the product as of now is currently undergoing validation. So we haven't launched it yet. We're testing with a couple of groups, control groups, to understand what is the level of assistance that we offer, and compared to the competitors or other players in this arena, we have a significant price advantage. We're still on our pricing strategy, but it'll be at least by a factor of lesser by a factor of 4. So our consumers primarily whom we're targeting are the elderly, people above the age of 60, and especially the frail elderly who have been reduced in their musculoskeletal strength and capabilities because of disease, disorder, or other problems. But eventually this product is something that can help anyone and everyone who has knees, hips and ankles, because they undergo wear and tear as we grow. So anyone who has any of these issues, neuromusculoskeletal issues that robs them of their functional independence in sitting down or standing up, we provide them that assistance without any electrical power, without any electrical batteries, no motors. It's a completely compliant mechanical design, and it's customizable exactly to the person. The event has been lovely because we've got to interact with people from many different backgrounds, got their feedback on their both how they see themselves using the products, how they see their near and dear people using the product, but also what they think of as are the challenges associated with these. So a lot of insights, a lot of work for us to do. So that's what we expected in the first place. Thank you so much.
I am Nimisha Parekh, Dr. Nimisha Parekh. I am heading the production division at Serigen Mediproducts Private Limited. So basically, Serigen is a innovation-driven tissue regeneration products company. So basically, it leverages the material science based on of silk protein. So at present, company having a portfolio of 3 different products where we target the advanced wound care, orthopedics and breast cancer surgeries. So basically we are the world's first company who has an approval, who has successfully done silk in bone repair. So we successfully cleared the first round of clinical trials, and now we have a permission to conduct the pilot trial for bone repairs. Serigen has a multidisciplinary team which comprises of a very premier institute like the MIT, then University of Delaware, then GE, then IIT Mumbai. So basically we have a 3 products. So one product is we already launched in market before few months. So it is an advanced wound care product where there is an advantage of non-adhesiveness. So that is specifically designed for like burning wounds and diabetic foot ulcers, the wounds which oozes out the things. The second product is a Serios, which is, as I said, that we have cleared the first round of clinical trials where we implanted in 10 human patients. It is specifically for bone repair, and we have seen that as compared to the global standards, we have seen 2 times better performance in the human patients. And our third product, which is named as a Serimat, which is we specifically designed for soft tissue regenerations, and we have initiated its trial at Apollo Hospital in Bangalore for breast cancer surgeries basically. And yes, we recently closes the first round of our investment, and we need a huge fund for next round. So if you believe that we do some exciting, then please join us on this journey. As I said, out of these 3 products, 1 product we have already launched. Now we need next year for our pivotal trial for bone repair, which is our second trial. So we hope that early next 2024, we are able to launch this Serios for bone tissue repair product. And we will need some time for our third product as it is under R&D and clinical trials. Here the target customers are different, right? Like for our first product, any surgeon can use wound care. But yes, specifically whenever there is a diabetic, and you know India is a diabetic hub, so it is a huge market for that things. And for bone surgeries also, if we look up the bone fractures ratio, then India is the second largest one for bone fractures, who uses bone void fillers for the bone surgeries. So for this product also we are having a very good market. And if I talk about my third product, then right now in India there is no other alternative available in Indian made which can support this type of breast cancer reimplantation surgeries. Whatever product surgeons are using, that is imported, so not every patient is afford that product. So for that also the doctors are very exciting and waiting that when can we launch this product. First of all, it is a natural product. As currently surgeons are using ceramic based products, so with respect to that, mechanically also this natural product is very stiff and bearable, load bearable, as well as it is a natural product, so it is degraded inside the body, so there is no removal surgery is needed for this bone tissue repair.
So myself, Dr. Bennett Boscodas. So I am the CEO of 30M Genomics. So we are into completely genetic diagnostics. We want to change the way how genetic testing is being happen. So usually it happens in a sophisticated laboratory, and most of these laboratories located in cities, and we need skilled manpower to do this testing, analysis, all those stuff. So we want to change that way, so that you can do the genetic testing in a very low resource area like a primary health center, a small clinic, or even in sometimes if you want to do it in your home, you should be able to do it. So for that purpose, we are developing a different product starting from reagents, chemicals, kits are required, also the devices, portable devices, mobile applications. Like we are providing diverse products for this purpose. So that's what we are doing in our company. So we have developed 2 products already, and we have launched into the market. We are in very early revenue stage. So we are adding up the products into our portfolio. So we have made very little revenue. So it's less than 10 lakhs. So we are in very early stage. We are expanding our marketing team also now. So we have got a few grants and funds from government agencies like BIRAC, Mighty and all. And we got a few private investments. Dr. R.A. Mashalkar is one of our investors. And we have sufficient funds to run right now. We are expecting to raise funds in the next 6 months. We are going for our pilot manufacturing facility also. So right now it's a B2B because there is no proper awareness about this genetic testing, how to do it among the common people. So right now it is B2B. Our primary customers will be this diagnostic labs, hospitals, research institutes. So in future we would like to expand it to B2C also. So there are different reasons. One is like for communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. So when I say like communicable diseases, COVID testing is the perfect example. So apart from that, you can do it for dengue, malaria, all those infectious diseases. And when you say non-communicable, you can find out your chances of getting cardiac arrest. You can change your lifestyle based on your genetic makeup. You can change your diet. You can change the way of exercise. All these stuffs are already available in market. So we are making the products to make it more affordable. So almost all our products are affordable, almost at 10 times lesser cost compared to the market available products. First of all, I will start with IKP itself. So IKP was great in helping us starting from getting the BIG grant, and from that point onwards, so they are continuously in connection with us. They have helped us in exploring our products with companies like Cortiva Agri Sciences. So they are very helpful, and this IKMC conference help us in meeting people, especially our angel investor Dr. R.A. Mashalkar, because he invested in our company without seeing and talking to us. So because it happened during the COVID times. So we are fortunate to meet him, and we are fortunate to meet Dr. Singh, who delivered the address today for the regulatory clearances. We are able to get a lot of knowledge on it. Thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in. International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
I'm Dr. Mansukhmandaviya, representing Bombay and Commonwealth Orchids Private Limited, which was incorporated in 2014 and located at, and I'm the managing director and the chief scientist of our company. And we are a group of plant breeders who are working on breeding orchids, because we have India is full having rich resource of natural orchids, but they are yet to be translated into economy. So our attempt is to breed orchids and develop commercial lines which can be supplied to nurserymen as well as to end users, which are the growers, orchid growers in India. And secondly, India is depending upon Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, etc. and importing orchids, huge amount of orchids every year. So our attempt is to reduce the import lots of import slots, so that if we manufacture, we develop good commercial lines of orchids, then we can supply it to Indian growers. This is our the second objective. Indian market, it is big and to the quantum of say $1 million of that sort every year, but it is increasing the year-wise. There are different types of orchids, like there are tropical types, temperate types, and depending on the different agroclimatic regions, like whatever orchids we have developed, they can be cultivated or grown in different parts of India, ranging from these temperate, subtropical, tropical. We have bred more than 200 the new hybrid orchids, and out of this, we have successfully registered 17 of them with the Royal Horticultural Society. We are at the pre-commercialization stage, and the technology readiness level is at 7. So we are having a R&D type of laboratory which is over low scale. So we are planning for scaling up for commercial production. Yeah, we have invested through our other funding agencies and for our own fund to the tune of say 1.4 crore at the moment, and we are looking for another 5-6 crore for the commercial scale production. It is a great experience because we got associated with IKMC, IKP since 2014. And we enjoyed and we learned new things from IKMC. It's a great experience, and we like connecting the other new people and new investors, etc.
I'm Sandal Kotawala from Alphalius Technology Private Limited, and at Alphalius we have built world's first portable visual field perimeter. So essentially what this is it's a device for testing glaucoma. Now glaucoma is an eye disease from which almost 60 million people are affected worldwide, and it goes undiagnosed. So you may have glaucoma, right, in one of your eye, and since you open both your eyes, you may not realize that you have glaucoma. So until you get tested, you don't realize, and in fact 90% people goes undiagnosed. So what we have made is a test in a VR. It's essentially kind of a game where you can wear this VR headset and do a testing for glaucoma. And typically the traditional devices, they are big and bulky, costing about 25 lakh rupees, right? And it takes almost 30 minutes for a test to complete for a patient. What we have done is we have made that 1/10 the cost of conventional device. So it's 1/10 the cost, and it's 100 times portable, and it's way more comfortable for the patient. We worked with Arvind Eye Hospital and Johns Hopkins to validate it, and currently we have 100 plus users, 100 plus doctors who are already using it. More than 50,000 testing being done through our devices. We have an OEM who is doing it. Earlier we used to manufacture in Bangalore, but then we outsourced. As we were scaling up, we outsourced it to an OEM. And going forward, I think OEM based approach works best for us for the volumes we have. Yeah. The visual field perimeter market itself is about $500 million market in annual sales, and talking about other tests that can be incorporated. So the market is somewhere around $1 billion a year kind of revenue, and our strategy going forward is essentially to go device as a service, where instead of doctor having to pay for this device, he can pay per test utility, and that's what we are trying to raise about $500,000 to pilot and scale up that model. So far, since we have been mostly in India, we don't have, we are in process of getting CE. For the previous version, we had FDA 510K exemption, but for the current version, we don't have. So we are in process of getting those certification. Although we have a couple of users who are using as a demo device in US or a few in Africa. It has been amazing, especially, for example, there is this Dr. Abnisha in US, Moran Eye Center, and she's using these devices in the refugee camps. So people who are not a part of healthcare system, they can use device like this, and they can get benefited, who don't have healthcare there. And in Africa, of course, the pricing, it's a price sensitive market. So again, the response have been very good. So it was very personal experience. I was a glaucoma suspect. I went to Arvind Eye Hospital for an eye test, and then I realized the existing device is so difficult to use. It's so expensive. Moreover, it was never available for villages and outreach. So that was the motivation to make something portable and easy to use. And I'm proud. Like I've got a good team who helped me develop the entire thing. So I was more or less a developer, but now being an entrepreneur, yeah, you handle everything. Whatever it requires, you do that. So that's how it has been. Yeah, IKMC, it's been amazing. You know, you find a lot of old folks you met probably 4 or 5 years ago, and they're back here. And also overall, the quality of sessions, right? The networking is good. The kind of people they're bringing in is amazing. The quality of sessions is great.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Namaskar, this is Dr. Sarika Gupta, Director, Reasonhorn Technologies Private Limited. It's an academic spin-off based at Parasri Vidyapeeth, and we are operating from Jaipur. We have developed a green technology industrial solution for the treatment of textile industrial effluent from the textile industry. Since we know that textile industries is the third amongst the global landscape, and because of the pollution that it creates, it is being placed in the red category. So our aim through our product GT Biozyme is to convert the red industry into the green industry. We basically treat the water and make it used, upcycled by the same industry, and the solid sludge that has been generated by the process of the treatment is going to be sent to the fertilizer industry. So it's basically contributing to the circular economy of the nation. So here we present the product GT Biozyme by Green Authority. We are at the early stage revenue, and we had started our revenue operations since July only, and we are very happy to share that with all the intensive research of 5 years, we have developed this product and technology, and we have done extensive trials at multiple scales in various locations in Rajasthan, and we have been successfully able to treat the facility and reduce the operational expenditure for the end user by 40 to 45%. For the stakeholders, in our case, is the textile sector, textile industries, which are dyeing and printing, because every person needs clothes to wear, whether it is handmade or printed, and they generate tons and tons of waste which has been there. So basically, there is an unmet need of the industry that they're able to decolor, but they are not able to detoxify it. And the compliances as per the Pollution Control Board and NGT has been increasing day by day. So it's a threat to the industry, but in a way it's an opportunity for us. Presently, we have a grant from MSME Government of India, and we have completed our first tranche, and they have committed us 1 CR for the next round, and for the planting machinery. And after that, there is a scheme, since we are under the umbrella of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. So they have a program of CDP, that is Cluster Development Program. So we are looking forward to that there, wherein we can have a grant or convertible equity of 16 CR. So that is good to go to have a good landing in the thing. And by that time, and we are expecting a break even of approximately in 18 to 20 months. So by the time we'll have all these things, we'll be able to stand on our own feet. Presently, we are focusing on the industrial sector because in only Rajasthan we have 90,000 MSME units. So it's a huge market sitting in one of the textile hub of the nation. So in first year, we are planning to set up all the things in Rajasthan and across, and then touching upon the various textile hubs across the nation, and then hitting the global market. Thereafter, we are planning to target the industries which are using color in any form, like cosmetics, leather, tannery, food, whichever is using color. Because basically we are mitigating, we are detoxifying the biomolecules which has been generated by these industries. So, and we have a record degradation of 98.8% efficacy with the dye concentration as high as 1 lakh ppm. So that is bang on, and for that we have filed in a patent, and we have filed a FER, we are DIPP registered startup, so we have filed it through expedited examination. So we are looking forward. IKP and IKMC, from last 2 years we are virtually attending this IKMC, and this year we are very happy to be here in person. And IKP has been instrumental ever since we are there, and they are giving a hand-holding support since 2019. So thanks to the team IKP and IKMC to give us such a beautiful, wonderful platform and a network connect peer-to-peer learning, and it's so much. Startup TV, it looks great. I've met a guy during the lunch and I said that this looks beautiful. And then I said that, where do you operate from? So they're like, we are based in Hyderabad and we operate globally. So it is so beautiful, such nice energetic team with young guys around. And they're very enthusiastic and energetic, moving around here and there, and it's good. And the term My Startup, since startup ecosystem is growing beautifully in India, so much of government push and so many initiatives are there. So whenever you you read this word startup, Ignite comes in the startup ecosystem. So if we can correlate to the ecosystem, like yes.
Hi, my name is Chandramouli. I'm the founder of Care Health Tech Services Private Limited. So what we are doing in Care is we are primarily trying to bridge the gap between the rural patients and the doctors in the city with the help of a health worker. So ideally, through our model, we'll be empowering ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, or diagnostics center guys, or even a paramedic personnel with our mobile app, which will enable them to book appointments on behalf of the patients and connect them to the right specialists. So as you know, nearly 70% of the population in India lives in rural areas, and many of them do not have access to specialist doctors, right? So even in the primary healthcare centers, which are almost like 10 kilometers away, none of them have a proper doctor. And in community health centers, nearly 70% of them also don't have specialist doctors. So ideally, if somebody wants to have access in the rural area to get access to a specialist doctor, they need to travel almost close to 70 kilometers. So as you know, that is very difficult. On top of it, there are patient profiles like pregnant women, senior citizens, injured personnel. So they need specialists and they can't even move an inch out of their house. So the idea is to help these kind of patients with the help of health workers. So we have built an app, mobile app. Basically through that app, as I said, they'll be able to consult with the senior specialists. Apart from that, the health workers can also bring out the vital details which is required for the doctor. Ideally in a telemedicine, as you know, when it happens between the doctor and the patient, many times they don't have access to vital details like blood pressure, BP, sugar, and so on. But here, because the health worker is present with the patient, they can also provide all the details. So in that way, the kind of quality of care is improved and the accessibility is also provided along with the affordability. We are actually building a franchising model as of now, wherein we have identified in the rural setups diagnostic center guys or a pharmacy guys who have some background, and we are onboarding them with our platform. So we are giving them our platform as well as our doctors, specialist doctors, so that they can actually consult through our platform. So that's how we are doing. So we've recently started, so we are expanding in some of the pockets of Uttar Pradesh. We are focusing mainly on getting our platform integrated with the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So as you know, like ABDM is one of the key initiatives of Government of India, where they are trying to build a healthcare record system for the patients across India, right? So we are actively working on that, through which we'll be able to directly work with the Government of India in creating ABHA IDs for the rural patients, and also be part of doing some direct assignments given by the Government of India. So that is going to be one source of income. The other is this franchising model, where we will identify some health workers on the ground and enable them through our platform. So the other model is, as you know, most of the target audiences are low income population. So ideally, we cannot actually charge them a lot of money for the treatment. So we are also working with foundations, wherein we are tying up through CSR models, where we are enabling our platform or probably giving our technology platform to them, so that they can actually provide this healthcare through So we are basically working on some model together and reaching out to these foundations to raise funds for the health programs. So we are working out different models. There are some clinics already in the rural pockets who doesn't have a technology. They primarily are doing either through WhatsApp or Zoom or video and so on. So they can also use our software because it in the backend, as I said, we are integrated with ABDM and it also maintains health records. We have access to vitals and everything. So we'll be able to also digitize their entire process through our platform. So I would say a small size HMR system is built in this entire app. So the software we built is it works both in a tab or a mobile phone and even on a laptop. Like if somebody wants to operate through a laptop. But ideally, what we have done is we assume that many of the patients in the rural areas do not have a smartphone, right? So that is the reason we are actually driving through the health workers. So ideally, it is the only health worker who will have the smartphone. It need not to be the patient who needs to carry a smartphone. Yeah. IKM, I've been actually associated with them through GenCare. So we are part of GenCare mission program. So through them we know IKM, and also through other colleagues and some of my previous connects. So I know about IKM, and that's how I was basically come to this event. So far the experience has been great. I've been actually made some very good connects here, and great networking has happened, and also met new friends. So that's the whole idea. So I think overall experience has been tremendous.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, my name is Dr.Mansukhmandaviya and I am CEO and Chief Scientific Officer of UR Advanced Therapeutics. We are a group of academicians and industrial scientists which started this company. We are majorly focused on innovation, bringing innovation to India. And currently our first product that we have launched is a dynamic apoptosis detection kit. What it does is it identifies the dying cell. So if you are screening for a number of drugs to identify a drug which is specific for a specific cancer, you will screen for thousands of drugs, and you want an identification mechanism which drug is cancer. So there this kit is being used, and this kit is a competitor for a current global gold standard player which is Annexin 5, that is a 32 kilodalton protein. What we have developed is a 1.5 kilodalton small peptide. It is a single step process. You just add it to your cells and start observing the dying cells, and it can be used for facts, you can be using for imaging, or you can use by fluorimetry. So you can have a number of applications, and at the same time, being small, you can penetrate into deep tissue. That means you can image or screen for the cells that are deep inside your tissue for dying cells. Further to this, we have a few more products that are in line, which are again patented by us, and the next product is a exosome identification kit. The current method of doing exosome isolation is using ultracentrifugation or antibody-based precipitation. What we have identified is a pan-exosomal marker which can precipitate the cell exosomes from various cells or tissues, or even smallest volume of tissue like tear fluid. You can identify the exosomes, and thus we can go for a non-invasive diagnostic approaches using this. Currently, we just soft launched our one product, and we'll be in the market by Asia 2023. And in between time, we are supplying the kits to different market players as well as academics and industries, so that we get beta testing done. It will take another 3 months before we are commercialized in the market. So currently we are funding by ourselves, and we are looking for a strategic investor or like a long-term partner who can help us in achieving our bigger ambitions and goals.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hello, my name is Kavyashri Venkatesh and I'm from Team Dhwani, which is based out of IISc Bangalore, and we are working on this project in collaboration with St. John's Medical College Hospital Bangalore and Parents Association of Deaf Children, Mysore. So we started off with looking at what are the problems faced in children with hearing impairment in the rehabilitation space. We understood that the problem is not only on the amplification device and the cost of it, but also speech therapy, speech and language therapy aspect is very important, and the awareness around it is very less. So we started off with looking at 100 plus stakeholders around India actually, and understood that the speech and language therapy, which is an important aspect, there are a lot of problems like parents do not follow up the speech and language therapy regularly, and the specialists, that is the professionals, rehabilitation professionals, are restricted to cities or few specific institutions and super specialty hospital, and the affordance is also a lot. So the loss in terms of travel and the wages, they had to let go of it. So these are the problems that we understood, and in collaboration with our clinical experts in the team, we realized that what if we could bring this system to home? Of course, having the speech therapist and the other professionals involved, but if we assist the parents, deliver the speech therapy sitting at home and having the loop of involving the therapist, everyone at home, how would it be? So we started with design of it, where the mobile application came in, where we sort of adopted the conventional speech therapy into the application, and observing the sessions, the conventional sessions, we understood that this is a gamified approach. That's why we started designing toys. So these are smart toys which act like response system. So the speech therapy is sort of categorized into various levels. So each level we are trying to brainstorm and come up with different smart toys which can act as response system to track the progress of the child. So together with the app and the toy, we also have a dashboard which is for the rehabilitation professionals. So in this way, we are creating an integrated system or like a common platform where the parents are involved, the child progress is noticed, and the professionals are informed what is happening at home. In this way, the parents have guidance of doing therapy at home, and the professionals can look at what is happening with the therapy and provide course corrections and improvements. So one of the activities I would like to explain. So here there is, say, sound awareness to begin with, and to teach how the different animal sounds are for the kid. So we have example of animal toys, and when the sound samples are played through, the auditory stimulus is given through the app, that is to be detected by the child using the toys. So that is streamed through the toy, and the child has to pick out the correct animal. So if the sound is of the dog, the child has to pick up the dog. So this is one example. So every time the child picks up the right toy, there is also reinforcement. So in this training, reinforcement is also very important. So this is one aspect of it. Then there can be, for any sound, you either place a particular toy or you draw something out of the toy. So in this project, the main motivating factor for me personally is, being involved with the parent and the child. So we have also tested out these toys with the child. So every time the child responds, the expression or the joy that the parent knows that, okay, my child has listened to this particular sound, that is the biggest inspiration for us. And the reaction that we got from them, like thank you for making us, like a playway method. So that is what we are trying to have it like inspiration and continue forward. So we have been involved with the parents. They form a major group in our team actually. So the support from them is very important, and that's how we are like having the users in the loop and designing further has been the main agenda of the project. For the level 1, because this has multiple levels, level 1 we have been doing testing with around 50 plus parents, and we have got good results saying the listening skills have improved, and the gamified approach is very interesting for the children, and even the parents have started learning about what is required to do therapy, how to be done at home. So now we are in the stage of integrating other levels, and sort of right now the app is in English and Kannada. We are trying to spread it to as many languages as possible, and still we are testing. MVP of level 1 is done, but prototyping of further levels is being carried out. So right now we are targeting in another year if we could integrate further levels and do an MVP testing. Along with the MVP testing, we also look for trying to see if the clinical validation or efficiency testing can be done. But there the thing is, you need to observe for a long time, because the skill, how much the child gains, is not only because of the app. There are a lot of other subjective factors. So for that we will need a proper study design and to be carried out. And one support we need is in terms of people who can support us in designing the app and taking it forward, and also community awareness to spread, because we need higher language, a lot of other languages to be incorporated. So we are looking for people who can help us out with that. And this comes under software as medical device also, because this is involved in therapy. So what are the regulator pathways for software as a design, and this being an accessory to it, how will that impact our regulatory procedures? So IKP has been very supportive, and this event was very enriching in terms of meeting other startups, learning at what stage they are in. Along with the startups that in our prototype validation stage, we have also seen commercialization startups. So as medical device commercialization is a major challenge ahead from moving to prototype level to the scaling stage. That's where we were mostly interested in, and the workshops being how because even we are from research background coming from ISC, so how being a scientific researcher and how do you move yourself as an entrepreneur is a good learning for pre-incubatees or budding entrepreneurs like me, I would say. And few other sessions like technical sessions like term sheets, understanding the fundamentals of negotiation and all that has also been very interesting. And of course networking is always a plus in these kind of events, so it has been great so far.
Hello, good afternoon everybody. Myself Dr. Vikas Kumar Agarwal, cancer surgeon from Calcutta. Our product is MAPOT. All of us have felt pain in our life, and whenever the pain comes, the first thing is Ma or the mother. Similarly, the pain of cancer, I think whole world is aware about it. And pain of cancer is more with the chemotherapies, which is given injections multiple times, and the pain, ulcers, extravasation, a lot of complications are there, which is more than the pain of cancer. To relieve this cancer pain from the patient, we have a patented device, MAPOT, sutureless chemoport with the flexible flanges. They are the already imported ports which are available in the market in the range of 30 to 35,000, and which is very costly in the country like us, which have a diverse economy status. And cancer does not differentiate between a rich and poor. It can affect anybody. So to relieve the pain of chemotherapy in these patients, we have made a affordable, made in India and a patented sutureless chemoport. This device has multiple advantages, because in these old available devices, you need to fix it with the small sutures and they can dislocate, they can migrate, the port can displace, and it is tedious process, painful to the patient. In our device, it is just like plug and just like a belt, you fasten it. So ease of placement, less painful, and ease of removal, less inflammation. The size is just like a size of a tablet, so it's very less discomforting to the patient. And the advantage of these chemoports, these can be used to draw the blood directly from the heart if the patient requires testing, which a cancer patient regularly requires. You can infuse medicines, and this can be punctured 2,000 times, and once you puncture it with a needle, you can keep the needle for 3 to 5 days. So the patient can complete the treatment for the whole lifetime. That is the advantage of MAPOT. For our clinical application, you can see we have migrated from these stages and we have reached to this final stage where our product is ready. Because it's an implantable device, it's a device which will be there in the body for more than 6 months. It becomes a type C medical device coming in contact with the blood. So we are now TRL 6 plus, everything molds and others are ready, the biocompatibility testing, and a CDCO certification followed by ready to use. So the conventional therapies are given in the veins, okay, and the moment the chemotherapy goes in the vein, I'll show you a picture. The simplest thing which can happen is the vein get thrombosed. It's a painful hand, and now you can't give any more chemotherapy in this hand. So, and if the chemotherapy comes out of it, you can imagine what will happen. It will be an ulcer which will never heal. And with this kind of device, it is, you can see the video, this is implanted inside. You can even go for the swimming and everything, nothing is outside. There is a different version between the vein lines and this central port are called a peripherally inserted central catheters, but those things lies outside. We in India have a risk of infection. Taking care of those are very difficult. Here you don't require any care. Once a month you go to your doctor, get your therapy or get it flushed. That's it. So, like a chronic kidney disease, we are a world capital of diabetes, which is leading to a huge number of chronic kidney cases, which requires a regular dialysis. So these patients, they have shunts in one hand, so you can't use that hand. One hand where we require some therapy. So in those who require long-term treatment, long-term nutrition, so GI disorder, where you require long-term IV total parenteral nutrition, the port can be used. So there are multiple uses. Apart from this, you can even use as in the different places where the necks are going surgery. In that, if you require this, you can put it in the other large vein called a femoral vein and others. So there are multiple uses apart from the chemo also. So for the certifications and this, the CDSCO certification, biocompatibility itself costs 20 lakhs. CDSCO will be in the range of 10 to 15 lakhs. And the CE and the FDA certification, because now we are India, which is looking not only for make in India, but to export these to other countries, not only the Asian, even in the other countries. So CE and FDA would require another 25 to 30 lakhs. Apart from the industry manufacturing unit, so we are looking in the range of 5 to 10 CR so as to complete all legs. And the business opportunity is huge because we have seen a pandemic of COVID. Cancer is a pandemic. As per the data available in Google and everywhere, 1 in 10 men in India has a risk of cancer, 1 in 8 female. Already 15 lakh new cancer patients every year, and 70 to 80% requires chemotherapy. So the huge opportunity of the investor to get a hike in his investment from seed to series A or B, everybody will be benefited. The investment as a partnership in the company and 5 to 10 CR so that we can complete the leg. Half completion, even an initial of 1 CR, and once we complete the leg, then they invest the further. That's okay. So it should be a. It is amazing. We are already a big Bharat grantee, so that was a huge support in the development phase. And after attending this, brushing a shoulder with those who's in the industry, those who have developed from innovation to a company, the words of wisdom and are huge, which has helped us in overcoming the hurdles, reducing the cost of biocompatibility, meeting the people who are into biocompatibility and testing and others. So that will be a great leap for us to move forward to market.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Komal Shah and I'm the founder of Ikshana Healthcare. This is a poster of our work. we are working on developing a treatment solution for women having urinary incontinence. So, urinary incontinence refers to a condition where you don't have control over urine flow. So, typically after childbirth or aging, or even women who have lung conditions can develop weakness in their pelvic floor muscles, and when these muscles become weak, it's difficult to control, basically to contract and relax the muscles the way they should be done for controlling urine itself. So for strengthening these muscles, it is possible to exercise. Just like any other muscle, you can exercise and strengthen them. For these also it's possible, but these muscles are deep seated inside the body. So it's not like your arm where you can see that you're bending enough and the exercise is happening correctly. So these muscles are inside the body. So about 40% of women are not able to do these exercises correctly. So the electrical stimulation is a known alternative where you give stimulation pulses, electrical pulses to these muscles, and the pulses will make the muscles contract and relax the way they should happen clinically. So here what we are doing is that we are putting the same electrical stimulation, the entire technology platform, into a wearable. The reason why we are doing this is because this treatment, it needs to be given multiple times a day, every day for several months at a stretch. So it's difficult for women to visit clinical setups, say to a physiotherapist or to a gynecologist for so many times every day, and naturally the compliance is very low. So that's the reason why we need something which they can use in a portable manner. There are other devices which can do the same thing. Like in India, we have Liberty by Utah Medicals, but they give electrical stimulation with an intravaginal device, which is not comfortable and to a large extent seen as a taboo in India. So what we are using are surface-based electrodes. It's just a wearable where you can, this is the line along which electrodes and other parts come in. These are integrated in the wearable, and it's very thin and it's very discreet to use. So I can basically be wearing this sitting at my work desk doing my work, and no one would know that I'm actually taking the treatment. So that is the main USP of our device. The other aspect here is that women in general in India are not really aware that this situation can be cured. We've actually met more than 100, about 120 women, and we've spoken to them. And what we learned is a lot of them think that, my grandmother had it, my mother had it, so I was just expecting to get it. They just say that I'll put an alarm on my phone every 1 hour, I'll just go to the washroom. I won't let it collect, so, it won't really leak. But they don't realize that it's going to escalate in some time. If you don't pay attention to it, after some time, it's just going to escalate the condition, and then it'll be even more difficult to manage. So apart from coming up with the device, we also have a Ikshana community where we are trying to spread awareness about this condition. So as of now, we have 40 women part of the group, and we are hoping to grow further.
So at what stage is the product?
Yeah, so the platform is ready and we are doing some clinical validation tests. So this product, it actually started in IISc Bangalore, and the IISc Health Center itself, we have collaborated with them and we are doing some tests for the platform itself. The wearable is also ready, but we haven't started tests there. Recently, we got the Big Birac grant, and our plan is to start working with that grant towards first to make it fully compliant to medical standards, and to then take it out for pre-compliance testing and other aspects. But I think the clinical trial will require the maximum amount of funds, which we are looking to start in about 8 or 12 months from now. And we've already started preparing for that, and I think that will require huge funding because of the number of people who will have to be involved. Oh, it's been great actually. Even before this, IKP has helped us a lot to develop our work, and at every stage towards meeting with people and getting mentorship and other aspects. And to come here and to meet all of them together at once was also great. We've also attended a lot of workshops here, which have been very helpful. So there was one workshop on term sheets which we attended yesterday evening, and we didn't know a lot of these things, and to hear directly from someone who otherwise is on the other side of the table to understand what their perspective is very helpful.
Hello, my name is S.K. Dash, and I am the Managing Director of Consultant Life Sciences Private Limited. which focuses on botanical extracts and using it to validate drug discovery, so that we target those illnesses which for which currently allopathic drugs are not adequate, or they don't actually sustain the entire spectrum of requirement that is supposed to be there. So currently we are working on eliminating malaria. So when people think about anti-malarial, we have gone that extra step, and as you know, WHO has mandated that by 2030 the entire the developing countries should eliminate malaria, and India happens to be number 4 in the burden ranking, and number 1, 2, 3 is obviously from Africa. So if we can just take down the top 10 countries, then 90% of our burden of malaria is eradicated. So till now, the government or the authorities, they were focusing on vector control. Vector control means the mosquito management part of it by fogging, anti-larval measures, but that's not adequate. What is required is the parasites remain hidden in the human liver, and they are asymptomatic. So this facilitates the transmission. So if you want to eliminate malaria, then you got to cleanse the entire area, the endemic area that is harboring the parasite, by giving repeat dose of a safe anti-malarial. So that is why all anti-malarials cannot be used to take out malaria, because they have side effects. But the one which we are developing is very safe, and it is nano encapsulated, and it is target delivered to go and hit the liver. And that is where at the initial stages the plasmodium multiplies. So if you take care of that, no more clinical signs of malaria, and also the residual parasite that is there in the reservoir, that also gets cleansed. So that's our part or our contribution towards eradication of malaria. So as I said, in the endemic areas, the people, they may be asymptomatic. They don't show signs of malaria, but they are very much harboring the parasite. So the parasite and the human host, they have a symbiotic relationship. So unless we cleanse that or sanitize that part of the liver which is harboring the parasite, we can't take out the entire or eliminate malaria. So the formulation that we have is actually can be given to any asymptomatic people, so-called healthy people, and they can take that. This can be given in pregnancy, it can be given to children, because it is botanical based and quite safe, well characterized. So that is how it can be mass deployed. We have already completed the preclinical phase. Now we have been covered by Big 16 of BIRAC. We have been funded, and thanks to BIRAC we are there. We have validated the proof of concept. Now we have to go to the human clinical trials, that is phase 1, phase 2, and that can only happen when we have additional set of funds. We are looking something like 3 to 4 crores, and that will take us up to the phase 3 clinical trial. So we are talking to different facilitators, funding organization, hoping to catch their attention. If currently the funding that we are looking for is available, then I think within 2 years' time, we should be in a position to roll out the product and commercialize that product. Since we have traveled this far, it's actually facilitated by IKP, and thanks to IKMC 22, so we are able to exhibit whatever our products are there, whatever technologies we have developed, our progress to the visiting dignitaries and people who are interested, and that way we hope to catch their attention and take our journey forward. So this is something which India has to do, because it has high malaria burden, number 1, and number 2, it's a sort of leadership that is looked forward from India for the African countries, and that is something which we should capitalize on. I mean, we should be encouraged through availability of funding, and that puts India into a space where you don't have to depend on artesunate. Today, artesunate, which is the present anti-malarial, has gone resistant. But we have done our tests at CCMB, Hyderabad, which shows that we are good to go even for resistant variety. So we are on the cusp of something good. And by the way, I can also say that malaria has fetched 2 Nobel Prizes. This is a product, and we are there who are giving alternative to artesunate. Maybe if not the Nobel, at least some great prize for this sort of discovery and recognition certainly accrues to us.
My name is Dr. Rekha Godbole. I am the co-founder and the director of a company called Gene Accurax Private Limited. This is based in Bangalore. We are a consortium of companies working together for the healthcare benefit. So I have been working in field of HIV, and for last 5 years I have been trying to develop a kit for HIV drug resistance. I have already developed one in-house kit which I have tested on 200 patients, and it was very helpful for the clinicians. But as we were doing the test, we found that this is not very affordable for many of the HIV patients, and also it takes a too longer time. So I am trying to develop a multiplex PCR kit, and we found that the commercial viability of that test is also a little not feasible. So now what we are trying to do is we are trying to work in 2 ways. One is we are working with NGS, where the cost will come sufficiently down, and also the turnaround time will be lesser. Secondly, we are working with microfluidics using a lamp technique, but that may take a little more time. So right now my focus is on NGS, and we'll be able to help the HIV patients as well as help the doctors to change the regime or decide which regime to use. Right now we are in the standardization stage, because we have just changed our angle a little bit. So it may take another 2 to 3 months to develop that. So I have got BIRAC funding for this, but we will need more funding to do validation and to actually get to the market. So maybe I'll look out for more funding from SIBRI or something, where we will be able to get to the market level. This is a wonderful event. I've met a lot of people. I have tried to build partnerships with some people, and also I've got a very good advice from the mentors. And IKP is generally wonderful because they are very friendly and useful, and they have always been there for all difficult tasks to get sorted out.
I'm Balaji Langovan, Head of Business and Technical from Seagrass Tech Private Limited. What we do is we are basically producers of marine microalgae. So we wanted to replace synthetic ingredients in the market with a novel high saline algae Dulina salina. Our product is very rich in beta-carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A. We wanted to apply our product in food pharma industries. We want to replace synthetic ingredients in pharma and nutraceuticals. Our basic focus is on pharma and nutraceuticals, and we wanted to replace synthetic colorants in food industry, and we also incorporate in cosmetic industry as well. So what makes us very special is we are sustainable, renewable, and zero carbon. We are cultivating in a non-arable land, tsunami affected land, and we use non-potable water like high saline bore water for the cultivation of our algae. So what makes us so special is this is a novel algae which is red in color, which is rich in beta-carotene, and it consumes more amount of carbon dioxide when it grows. So it makes it very special and environmental friendly. We are in the commercialization stage. We have already started our sales, and we are looking to expand our plant further to cater the demand. Actually, our plant is a 1.5 acre facility. So with the production capacity of 1 ton, but we have customers who are requiring 10 to 12 tons with an annual contract. So we are trying to expand our plant till 100 acres. So we are looking for an investment of $2 million to expand further and to increase our production capacity. So it is basically red color algal powder biomass. So it basically finds its application in multivitamin tablets. So in developing a new formulation of tablets, syrups, and so and so. And we want to apply it for food and cosmetic industry as well. In terms of food, our product is red in color, so it can be used as in food colorant, food additive as well. And it also finds its place in cosmetic industries because of its rich red color. So we are a FSSAI certified product. So it is a food grade. So we are expanding further to get into international market with additional certifications.
Hi, this is Nalini. I'm a director for Levin Bakers Private Limited. We are making millet-based parathas made using fermentation technology, which is one of its kind. We are also in the process of patenting the technology. We are making millet-based parathas, which are currently not available in the market. And by using fermentation, we are able to make millets, enhance the taste and texture of millets, and make it more palatable to the modern customers. If you see, today's modern days, making chapatis have become a cumbersome process for the modern customers, every household. It's also difficult for students to get healthy nutritious food, and they have to depend on the local eateries and packed food, again compromising on their health and taste. So we have identified the problem to this solution. We have come up with more tasty, healthy chapatis, which is a better alternative to the homemade ones. And with fermentation, we have been able to increase and enhance the taste and texture of millets, because millet is again the food for future. We are all facing nutritional issues. Every kid, there are so many kids who are not, who are malnutrition. So we, even the government, we as an individual have to do something to combat this problem. And when we see millets was our ancestral food, and that time we didn't have so many lifestyle diseases, lifestyle problems. But after consuming the modern food more like rice and wheat, we have also started getting a lot of other problems. So now it's a time that we have to go back to our ancestors food. But again, then we are not used to eating millets. They are hard, they are brittle. It's very difficult to make millets. So we have come up with this solution. These are ready to eat. This is also soft, as good as the wheat parathas that we are used to, and also more palatable. It's tastier. With fermentation, we have been able to increase the shelf life naturally. It's 3 times more than what is available in the market without the use of any preservative. And with fermentation, there are more health benefits, like body is able to absorb more minerals, and also the nutritive profile gets better. It enhances. Like if you see, even the wheat parathas compared to a fermented wheat parathas have higher protein and less carbohydrates. And it is good for digestion, it is good for sugar management. So there are a lot of benefits with fermentation. Currently, we have kept the prices very affordable so that more and more customers are able to try the product. This we have tested 21 days, and it was good with all parameters. So it can last for 21 days in the refrigerator. Currently, we have done soft launch in different departments. Eventually, I want the customers to first recognize the brand, get used to the product, know that it's a good product, and the next step would be to put up in the various supermarkets. After that, we would definitely like to move beyond Hyderabad to other states, and maybe in the next 2 years, we would want to go global. These are just the basic products that we have come up with. We will be introducing more and more variants based on millets.
Hi, good evening. My name is Duke Chaudhary. I'm the marketing manager for the company called MicroGo. So we are into the space of hygiene and infection control solutions, providing to different healthcare sectors. So what we basically do is we buy out problems from different companies, especially the healthcare and the food industry, and we tackle their problems with our solutions, hygiene solutions, and give them digital solutions in the space of SaaS, right, where we give them smart, assured, sustainable and service. So what we do basically is we give them a smart solutions which is digitalized. We give them assured product which is scientifically being proved, as well as we give them sustainable, which is environmental sustainable as well as operational sustainable, and also give them a service which is basically trainings to the people who actually needs them. So we have a complete ecosystem that we are trying to create for the space of hygiene and infection control, and bring out solve their problems according to their need, customize problems for their needs. So we are trying to create prevention for in the space of hygiene, in the space of AMR, and in the space of One Health, where we are trying to create an ecosystem for creating a better food for people, for humans, or better lifestyle for humans. Also, along with that, giving them creating a better healthy ecosystem for animals as well as environment. Our products make sure that you get your health hygiene compliance complete 100%. Along with that, we can give customizable digital solutions, as well as digital aggravator of monitoring systems, or 100% real time data to which you can measure, which helps you measure your benefits, measure your hygiene protocols, and that way you can create an ecosystem which helps and create awareness across industries and give them a better space to evolve into the origin of the SaaS way. So that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to create this ecosystem for different in different industries actually, and give them a better solution for the upcoming future. So as of now, we have already got the Series B funding, and we are into the commercial space. So we are almost our turnover is almost going up somewhere around 40 crores right now, and we are trying to do as much as sales we can. So right now we are also evolving into different spaces and bringing in new products, a new product range, expanding our hands into poultry industries and exports. And certain expansion is already going on. We are also expanding our sales and marketing team. We are trying to grow in different other spaces, different places where we are not available as of now. So we have covered India into the zone 1 and the zone 2 basis. So zone 1 is the South India, which is mostly covered. Zone 2, we have only touched Delhi and Gujarat area.
I'm Rishikesh Kulkarni. I'm an electrical engineer at Upchiti. So we as a company are a tech company, and we build electric powertrains for all the micro mobility systems which we are concentrating right now. It may be low speed scooters, electric bicycles, skates, and all kinds of stuff. So we build the entire powertrain, and the parts could be battery management system, battery, motor controller, and all kinds of stuff. So as a first product, we have built a world's first battery management system in which you can charge your batteries with the help of any USB-C connectors that is already at your home. It might be laptop chargers, your mobile chargers, etc. So yeah, this will be helpful to us in a lot of ways. Like if you take these bicycles to your home, to your workplaces and all, you can just detach those batteries, treat it as your mobiles, laptops, so that you can just charge it, and then you can treat it like those things, and you can charge it at your table desk anywhere you want it. So yeah, the basic idea of charging your EV is no different to charging your laptop now is achieved, and we'd like to show a demo of this. if it is a 60 watt adapter, it starts to charge anywhere between 52 to 55 watts, so that it's not an overload on the adapter or on the battery pack side. So yeah, so taking care of all the thermal issues and everything, this BMS is smart enough to take care of all those things. We are currently working in B2B, working as a B2B in B2B sector. We are trying to get into a B2C sector. We still are not into revenues, but still the product is completely mature in order to go to production, and we are in talks with the battery manufacturers in order to test our product, and these BMS can be scaled up to scooters and all, electric scooters. So we are working on that also, and we have certain innovative things that is going on in the motor controller part also.
Hi, myself Pratima Solanki, and I am a founder director of 3K Nano LLP. So our startup at AIC JNU Jawaharlal Nehru University, and we are making the biosensor for vitamin D3 detection, which is supported by Birec Bake. So in this regard, we are fabricating these strips for immobilization of your antibodies for detection of vitamin D3, 25 hydroxy vitamin D3. And then this is the second component of our biosensor, that is electronics device, which is under fabrication, which once we our electrodes will be ready, that will be connect with the electronics device, and we can easily check the vitamin D3 concentration into our blood sample in the form of the digital value. Second, as we know that nanomaterials have the very good the capacity to immobilize biomolecules. They provide high sensitivity as well as the more adsorption capacity of the biomolecules. In this regard, we are synthesizing various nanostructured materials, and basically this is the biosensing platform that how we developed it. So first, the sensing electrodes will be used to immobilize these nanomaterials, and then antibodies to be immobilized onto their top surface, and it will be connected with the electrochemical analyzer to check their electrochemical response. So nanomaterials which we have synthesized in our laboratory, we can also incorporate it in the form of the nanofibers, and we simultaneously we are making nanofibers of biopolymers like cellulose, and we can also synthesize these nanofibers on the basis of the customer requirement. They can purchase, some of the students, laboratory based their students, they are taking from us, and on their research purpose. So on the basis of the requirement, if anyone wants gives us some design, that we can also have some good facility for develop the 3D products in our lab. To all these knowledge we are spreading to students who are the interested to make our students. So we are conducting the workshop in our startup, and in like the 10 days or the 15 days to share their knowledge. So if anyone is interested, they can contact us. Like our website is www.3knano.com, and we are on LinkedIn. So please contact. So we are very thankful to IKP team, and they have invited us to participate in this exhibition. We are very happy. They have provided us very good space, and we have interacted so many new startups and the experienced persons. So we can connect with all these the startups here, and we are very happy to participate in this. Yeah, very good experience for us.
Hi, my name is Raghu Venkatesh. I'm co-founder of Answer Robotics, and my designation is Head of Business. We are based out of Bangalore. We are a 26-month-old startup. We started our company in middle of pandemic to help warehouses move faster. and we build autonomous mobile robots which can carry weight from 250 kgs to all the way to 1.25 tons. And the cool thing about our company is that it is completely indigenously made. It is a modular technology where any repair happens to a robot, you don't need an on-site operator to repair it. It can be automatically, you can have anybody just plug and play. And also a robot comes with features of autonomous navigation, where we have like LiDAR sensor and RGB camera and 3D cameras. Using the sensors, we do something called data fusing to understand the position of the robot. So once we know where the position of the robot is, all you have to do is that tell a task of a robot, like go pick this up or drop something. The robot will automatically plan a route, and just like your Uber cars, it will take your item from a point A to point B. So this is the problem we solve in warehouses or a factory floor, called as last mile delivery. So you can look at a robot, one of the robot which is over here. So we have like 3 models. So our lowest model is a 250 kg payload, and the last model is a 1250, which can carry up to 1250 kgs. And we started this company with a vision of saying that, like, we Indians innovate around the world, but India is not innovating. So we decided that we want to challenge ourselves, build a cutting edge product, and put India in the map of global map. So we build products which is made in India for the world. This kind of technology till today is only affordable by very large companies like Amazon or like multi-billion-dollar companies. We want to enable small, medium enterprise companies which are based in India to get access to this cutting-edge technology. So since our inception, we built 2 prototypes. Today we are in production and we have finished market validation stage. And we went to market in March. In the last 6 months, we have generated revenue of 1.8 crores. And now we have a pipeline of more than 5 crores for potentially to close. And now we are at a growth stage. And our next plan is to set up a plant and start manufacturing robots and start helping Indian manufacturing and warehouses companies to ship or build their products faster. Our current customers is ARAPL. It's a company based in Pune where they do warehouse management. So we have built robots for them to help move material faster and more reliably. And our second type of customer is manufacturing customers, where they descriptive manufacturing customers. So the problem challenging they have over there is that when they have multiple production lines, the raw material has to reach at the right time at the right place. Even one raw material reaches on the wrong time, the whole production line is paused because the right material did not reach. So but using robots, you can always ensure the right material reaches at the right time, and also you will not have a downtime. So this is what makes us, these are the 2 use cases where our customers are using. In this exhibition, it's been very insightful. Our primary industry is manufacturing and warehouses, but this is a pharmaceutical exhibition. Over here, we have come to explore potential of how we can use robots inside pharmaceutical. One of the things we learned is that when people do clinical trials or work inside lab, they have a lot of repetitive workflows. So using our robots, they can automate those workflows. And second use case we found out was that when you have toxic material which has to be disposed, you can use robots to safely dispose from your working place to a disposable area. So it's been a very wonderful and meeting a lot of interesting people, and also we have learned a new industry. So thank you very much IKP for hosting us for this event.
I'm Rohit Asal, co-founder at Cambrian Bioworks. We primarily build reagents, kits, and workflow solutions for molecular diagnostics and genomic sequencing and genomics research. So the kind of products that we manufacture at Cambrian primarily enable researchers and clinicians in performing molecular diagnostics and genomics research activities. For example, if we take a case like cancer testing or cancer genomic testing, a lot of subcomponents in the workflow make the actual test possible. Something like an early breast cancer test or a lung cancer test do not really happen just in one workflow. You need to be able to take the sample in a way that it stabilizes the DNA well. You need to be able to carry the sample from the sample collection situation to the lab effectively. and sometimes at room temperature, and then you should be able to extract the DNA really well using a good extraction protocol. And then further on, you'll have to build the sample and build the library in such a way that the sequencing happens in a certain expected manner. Now, all these sub components or sub pieces of the workflow will require different products at every stage. Now, Cambrian manufactures majority of these products in India in an effective price that is affordable, and a price that helps these companies scale up and really offer these tests at a much more wider method. Most of our consumers are B2B enterprises, meaning most of our products go into customers who are already into testing. Some popular names I could quote would be someone like a Metropolis, or someone who is very, very good in cancer testing. So any lab that performs testing using molecular diagnostics as a method will require products that we manufacture. So we are at revenue stage. We are 2 years old company. We've done decent revenues in the first and second year. Both years we are EBITDA positive. We are completely bootstrapped. We are not funded so far. We are now looking to raise funds to scale up our operations beyond India. So IKP has been a great partner for us in terms of using government funds, raising government funds, and connecting to the scientific community in India. IKP even today has seen a lot of people coming from CCMB, AIC, IITs, and a lot of academic background. So it was great to meet a lot of industry and academic professionals under one roof and talk about biotech as a primary conversation.
Hello, so I am Dr. Preeti Nigam Joshi. I am founder of Fast Sense Innovation. My company is involved with medical diagnostics. We are basically developing point of care detection assays for complex diseases like cancer, neonatal sepsis. We are currently at validation stage, and we are applying for the validation and different approvals from the CDSCO. Our next step is starting the trials, real samples and field trials, so that we can go for the test license and manufacturing license and get the product commercialized and manufacturing ready for the market ready product. We are targeting B2B, means our consumers are going to be doctors, healthcare professionals, PSCs, hospitals in rural and urban sector both. So we are targeting a range between 500 to 600 rupees per test, and we are bringing medical, you can say, the laboratory based diagnostic into point of care manner. So of course we are reducing the price also, so that it could reach to the masses, so that you can say the lower bottom of the pyramid. That is our that population we are targeting. This exhibition we have already, you can say, been there from the different previous year also, because IKP is our BIG partner. So I'm coming from this exhibition before even 2017 also. So this exhibition is a great experience for me, for a networking perspective, to get new connects, to get mentors also. So I'm very much satisfied with the IKMC conferences all the time.
I am SVN Raju. I am one of the directors of Apramita Innovations Private Limited, Hyderabad. We focus on repurposing off-patented drugs. We have 6 products in the pipeline and 54 plus patent applications. Out of them, 6 are granted patents. We are big 17 grantee, and thanks to IKP for enabling us to get the grant. Out of 3 lead products, one of the product which is a topical gel for the treatment of mild to moderate psoriasis, we are into clinical phase 3 studies. Topical cream, we have established proof of concept study in human for Fisher foot. And the third product is a big 17 grant project, which is an ophthalmic product for the dry eye disease. Thanks to IKP for organizing this and giving us exposure to various investors and the very informative sessions they've organized. Thank you.
I'm Shreya and I'm an AI engineer at DigiClinics. So our product right now is an end-to-end platform for breast cancer staging. So first we have a scanner here that is used to scan the biopsy tissues of the breast cancer. So once we scan it using the scanner, this is a relatively cheaper and in-budget version of the Morphle scanner. So once we scan it, then the tissue, the biopsy tissue is digitized and stored it in our server. So from there we access it using our AI module, and then we have trained AI algorithms to predict the different biomarkers for breast cancer. So it does make pathologists work easier because usually without automation, a pathologist spends around 1 to 2 weeks to annotate one slide, to mark the tubular regions. So whereas once scanned, our AI module just takes 3 to 4 minutes to mark all the cancer regions, and then it gives a grade for each biomarker between 1 to 3. So on analyzing this, we can just come to a conclusion on the score related to breast cancer grading. So this is an end-to-end platform, and yeah, it helps in grading the breast cancer.
Hello, hi, I am Amit Vaneka, co-founder of ChemiOptic. We are working on a healthcare device portable which can test the urine analysis at home. So basically, we are working pregnancy-related diseases. As the pregnant women undergo a lot of complications during the pregnancy cycle, we would like to address and identify these complications at the earliest. So we are identifying suitable biomarkers, that is pregnancy-induced hypertension, UTI, chronic kidney diseases, which can help these complications so that preterm birth, maternal mortality as well as fetal mortality can be reduced. Our device is very portable. Just you have to collect the urine sample. Once you collect the urine sample, load into the testers. With the help of smart app, you can get the test report, and the same data can be shared with the healthcare provider. In terms of preventive healthcare, we are working in this portfolio. So currently we are into the validation stage. We have test run the samples, around 150 samples in the clinical setup. So in the next 2 to 3 months, we would see the product launch into the market and get the regulatories cleared. So basically our consumers are two models, B2B as well as B2C. B2C, it is the pregnant woman and also the diabetic patient. B2C basically would be the home-based thing. Rather B2B model, it would be clinic as well as the primary healthcare centers. Yeah, the experience is very good because this is my second year getting connected to. We are the BIRAC grantee which is supported by IKP. It is very immense from them, like the way the idea is nurtured, and we came up. We were literally into the ideation stage, then the prototype, finally we are into the validation stage. So it was very good efforts, might be from Vishu sir, then Dipanati ma'am, even Ambu sir. So they had handholders in each and every stage it was required. Thank you for your support.
I am Dr. Felix Senigo. I am the CEO of the company Diagno Intelligence Systems. And in your company, we are developing an AI-based product that will automatically detect the osteoporotic in the patient. And right now, we are in the stage of, we have completed the validation, clinical validation. Very soon, we are going to launch a product. And we are providing two types of services. First services like selling the product as a licensed version. Then second one is like we plan to provide a daily X-ray screening service where the doctor can upload the patient image and we'll do the analysis, and we using our tool, we'll detect whether from the image, we'll detect whether the patient has an osteoporotic or not, and this report will be submitted to the doctors, and doctors, as usual, in a regular scan, what they do, they'll do that process. You plan to provide services to the doctors, a medical research institution, and so on. Later on, we'll be focusing on customer directly. Right now, we are providing it as a free of cost. Just we want to get the customer validation first, and so that we can incorporate those validation in our product, and we'll enhance the product. And later on, we are plan to provide a priced version. It's a very good. I got a very good experience. I met so many types of company peoples and their products. I got lots of inputs from them, like how to get marketing things, because many of them has already started the company. I am very new. Okay, after this BioRock fund only I started my company, so I got so many inputs from them, and I use this inputs to further enhance my company in a forward direction.
Hi, I'm Vivian. I'm CEO of Grailmaker Innovations, and this is Pratyusha. When somebody says visual impairment, the first thing that comes to your mind is probably there's some problem with the eyes. But what if I tell you, when it comes to visual impairment in children, only 60% of the problem happens because of the eyes, and remaining 40% happens because of neurological disorders. So if there is a problem in the brain, what happens is that the brain cannot process the signals sent from the eyes, and that leads to cortical visual impairment. And around the world, 36 million children are affected by that. And this is a problem which ophthalmologists or an optometrist can't solve by just giving glasses or surgery. The only solution is through early intervention programs, which is really expensive at the clinics and not available in all places. We, through Vision Nanny, we are building a SaaS application that provides home-based early intervention for children with CVI. So we are in the pilot stage. We have an MVP. We are collaborating with hospitals and doing validation at the moment. So we are making this for the parents especially. So it's going to be a B2C primarily. And we are also targeting the B2B market as well. So we'll be providing this application for the early intervention centers and the eye institutes around the country and the world. So usually these sessions, like a 45-minute session of therapy at the clinic, cost around 800 to 1,500 rupees. But with our application, we are providing similar intervention at the comfort of your home just for the price of 500 rupees. So this has been amazing so far because this is an event where we get to meet a lot of young startups as well as senior mentors who have been in the field for so long. So this interaction between the startups and the mentors is really amazing so far. And even the workshops, we attended some workshops on how to understand term sheets, how to understand tech transfer terms, and so far it has been really good.
So, good evening all. I'm Nivedita, CTO and co-founder of Man Innovations. So, we create virtual reality simulators to train healthcare professionals in the healthcare industry. So, we basically have two set of modules. One is the custom-made modules, another is the library modules of the surgical procedures and as well as the diagnostic and emergency training. When it comes to the library modules, we have nursing and EMS training, which is the emergency training, where there will be a set of pre-designed template where anybody can go in, they can get trained themselves using the by wearing the virtual headsets. And when it comes to the custom-made modules, for example, if you are a doctor and you wanted to do a surgery, what happens is we will be providing you a virtual module, a simulator, which will be helping you in pre-surgical planning. That is, you'll be getting practiced before doing that surgery. Okay, the next thing is, if you are doing that surgery, you'll be educating your patient on that surgery, right? So we also provide VR immersive patient education modules to them. Apart from that, we also provide diagnostic tools for them. For example, if there are medical images like CT or MRI scans, using our software, they can convert the images into 3D visualization form where they can easily understand where the anomaly actually presented. They can, with more accuracy, if they are placing any kind of implant or if they are cutting down the tumor, they wanted to know what are the data points where they are supposed to do. So everything will be done in the VR environment itself. So right now, we have actually got Startup India grant, and we have also signed with STPI for an investment of 25 lakhs with an equity exchange of 3%. And we are right now scaling up. Yes, so we have 21 clients so far. We have been working with a lot of services in healthcare, mainly for product demonstration of medical devices and the other things that I have said, surgical modules, patient education modules, medical illustrations. So these are the things that we do. So our consumers are doctors as well as the patients. As I have said, there are two kinds of models. For the library models, it would be the hospital, because there won't be any nurse who will be preferring for a particular model. It would be the hospital who they will be the decision-making authority. But when it comes to the custom-made models, that time that will be the doctor. For example, I'm a surgeon, I'm going to do a cardio surgery, something like that. So I wanted a simulator to train myself. So at that time, doctor will be our customer. For the library modules, we have subscription of 1.5 to 2 lakhs per year, where we will be providing the hardware infrastructure as well as the software model, and for a limited seats. For example, about 50 to 100 nurses can be trained with that module for an year. When it comes to the custom-made modules, it differs. For example, it ranges between 3.5 lakhs to 7 lakhs. So it depends on the complexity of the content that we create. So it was really exciting because I myself, we are actually biomedical engineers. So this is something like into biotech, where we were looking for, we came to know about a lot of inventions into biotech and as well as nanotech. And what we thought is, since it is biotech, we thought like, we won't be getting any kind of connections or we won't be getting any kind of interaction. But it was completely not that. Like, we got to interact with a lot of doctors, a lot of people who were interested into our things. They even experienced through our headsets. So it was really amazing.
Hi, my name is Arun Kumar Ramaswamy. I am the director and co-founder of Smart Home Healthcare Solutions. We are building YourHab platform. It's an online physiotherapy and digital rehab platform where we want to take the physiotherapy from offline to online for certain conditions. Typically, when the patients do the physiotherapist exercises at home, they usually tend to forget the exercises or they will not do the exercises correctly, so which elongates the recovery time. So what we are trying to do is, we are building an AI platform where the patients, when they do the exercises at home in front of their own mobile camera, the camera will guide them and it will also correct them if they are not doing the exercises correctly. So it ensures both correctness of the exercises as well as the completeness of the exercises, which helps in the recovery of the condition much better. And that's the platform that we are currently building. From a stage perspective, we are currently in the validation phase, where we have built the platform and we are testing it out with the trial initial set of patients. And once that's done, then we will roll it out to the general audience. So we have 3 types of consumers that we have planned out. The first one will be the corporates, where primarily to address the ergonomic concerns of the employees, where we are going to offer this as on a subscription basis to the corporates. Second will be the clinics or the hospitals, where they can offer this for the post-surgery patients. When the patients get discharged, this can be an additional offering that they can give it to the patients. And the third service will be directly to the patients, where the patients can directly opt for it. So there will be an initial consultation with the therapist, which will be live, where the therapist will see the patient, they'll do the assessment and they'll assign the exercises. And after that, it's offline. After that, it's not live, where the patients will do the exercises in front of their mobile camera. And the mobile camera will guide them, and the mobile camera will give the live feedback in terms of whether they are doing the exercises correctly or not. It'll be a mobile app-based platform where the patients will switch on their mobile camera and they'll do the exercises in front of the camera. We have a sense of the current price that the patients pay for the treatments in the market. So we will offer it at a competitive or a slightly lesser price than what they are paying it today. We launched a startup 3 years back. We have one more platform before this. That's a clinical management platform, again for physiotherapy segment, due to which we have partnered with multiple clinics, and we have a good network of physiotherapists who are already partnering with us. And this is our second platform that we are building based on our network and based on the inputs from those existing customers. This event is a very nicely organized event, I would say. And it really helps in bringing the startups together and in showing the ecosystem, the strength of the ecosystem to the startups, the different types of help available, and basically it's a well organized and nice thought out event, I would say. Thank you so much.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Vaibhav Bhatia, CEO of Lamarck Biotech. We are a company dedicated to drug product formulations. We make thermostable formulations for existing clinically approved biologics like insulin, vaccines, and many antibodies. Idea is we want to make sure that all these life-saving medicines are accessible in the deepest pockets of the earth. And one of the reasons this is not happening is because most of these biologics are temperature sensitive, means they have to be stored in refrigerated systems. And forget about refrigeration, electricity is a trouble in a big part of the world. And we are making room temperature stable formulations to reach these places independent of cold chain. So you can store our insulin, which is our flagship product, at room temperature for around 2 years without losing any activity. It's not just room temperature stable. In addition, it provides you better quality than any existing product in the market. We have done head-to-head comparisons with different drug products in the market, and we have shown 5 times better stability for our product than many experiments. We are now working in strategic collaborations with big pharma companies as for insulin to make sure that we are able to reach market in a pretty quick way, where we can have a shorter clinical studies and try to be able to access a big part of the market, especially companies who are trying to reach these zones of globe which are not accessible currently, especially Middle East, Africa, Latin America, where the cold chain is not very exact. That's what we do. So as I mentioned, we are using a clinically approved drug substance in a partnership, and we are developing a drug formulation and going for what we call IND application within the next 12 months using some what we call tick-based studies, porcine studies required for this, preclinical, and some advanced analytical studies with third parties. When we say full commercial, as I said, we work in strategic collaboration, and just to make sure that the strategic collaboration becomes a reality, where it's a paid collaboration, we are expecting to spend around 1 to 1.5 million only, which is still phase 1 clinical trials. And in case we have to go for manufacturing ourselves, we'll have to decide later after 18 months. That could be a bigger expense, but that's the latest stage for sure. Means in this case, we have to apply for all these after the clinical validation is done. So current stage, as I mentioned, we plan to use clinically validated drug substances. So we may not require many certifications for the drug substance, the API part. Only at the drug product level there could be changes. So it is reduced, but we have to apply for all of them once the clinical trials are done. IKP, has been organizing this for 3 years. For last 3 years, I have been attending it, and it has been a great networking event for me. I have met kind of every sector, regulatory, manufacturing, planning. So I have meet people, the top class people from every sector. It has been great. To Dipanvita ma'am, Vishu, they have been organizing this, in the best possible manner for many years that I have seen. I just talked to one of your person, and it's a great thing. In fact, I was thinking why it's called My Startup, and I was like, okay, it's my startup. So, and it's a very empathetic way, and really, most of the startups, they don't have that kind of money to do their marketing and to reach to the people, to get the brain space. And it's a real effort that people are putting in. Really, thank you for that.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I'm Priyanjit Ghosh, co-founder and CEO of Logi.ai. I have Mr. Vinay with me. He's part of the founding team also, and I have Anand and Nivedita also with me. So, as you know, the first level of health screening is especially broken in our country, and it is very difficult to screen at the last mile. Be it for oral screening or be it for eye screening, it is very, very difficult to do. Now, there are two major reasons for it. The first reason is that you need various point of care devices and you need a technical expertise to go in the last mile and do the screening. The second reason is that people generally, unless and until it becomes a big problem for them, they do not travel, go to the hospitals or go to the diagnostic centers to do a screening. What we are trying to do is we are trying to create a software as a medical device platform at Logi.ai. So we have created our own AI-based digital health platform, which you can see. By using the existing smartphones, we can take images of eyes to detect various diseases, most importantly like cataract disease, which is responsible for 70% of blindness in India. And we are also working on various screening for various oral diseases like oral caries, oral cancer, etc. Where this is really useful is we are currently already present in the market, done more than 150,000 users have used our platform, and people like Apollo's, Colgate, Dr. Agarwal's across India are using our solution to give early warning signs to the users so that they can become aware and take the care at the right point of time. Currently, we are closing a seed round with some investors, with some angel investors, and we are on the verge of closing it at this moment. So currently, the strategy that which we took was we reached out through the B2B health partners, like the larger players which are present pan-India, to primarily reach product market fit. And then the next idea would be to reach the smaller players, and that will be our scale-up plan, especially in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities who can use our technology and go about it. The experience has been really good for all of us. Like we are associated with IKP for last few years, and they have helped us financially as well as helped us with the right mentorship also. And now they are also providing us the right platform where we can interact with our peers, interact with mentors, get feedback. So yes, it has been very good and helpful for us.
International Knowledge Millennium Conference 22 was organized in Hyderabad by International Knowledge Park, a life sciences incubator. At the 2 days event, startups were recognized for their work with awards. My Startup TV spoke to awardees on the sidelines of the event. Listen in.
Hi, I am Nitin Avasthi and I am representing RCapsys Techno Solutions Private Limited. I am a co-founder and my other founder is Mr. Kishore. And this particular device has been a smart inhaler, an expert inhaler, which is supposed to be creating adherence, and it is also supposed to be teaching the people as to how do they use the normal asthmatic inhalers. So this is a BLE connected device in which the information from the mobile phone can be transferred to the inhaler as well as on the other side also. So this particular device is a very smart device which can remind you when to take the medication and how to take the medication. So there is a procedure how you are supposed to be inhaling, where you are supposed to be blowing out the air from your mouth and then pressing it and then inhaling it so that the medication actually goes and resides inside the lungs properly. So this particular device will be able to identify when you are supposed to be taking the medication, so it can remind you with the method of vibration or a beep or both, and it can also identify, because it has got a device like gyro and an accelerometer inside, with which it can find out at what particular angle did you take it. It has got a timekeeping IC with which you can find out at what particular time did you take the medication, and so we can also get a lot of adherence for your medication so that you don't miss your medication on time. There are two types of medications. One is called as the maintenance dose and the other one is only when it is required. So the patients who are supposed to be taking it on a regular basis, this particular device is very, very important for them so that their asthma does not get flared up, and they can make sure that there are no asthma flare-ups. This particular thing is not there right now, but using our algorithms, we wish that after some particular time with our machine learning algorithm, we'll be able to predict that if a certain kind of condition is prevailing, which can be on the weather, which can be on the things which are ongoing in his personal life, which is based on a survey, then we might be able to predict that you might have a next flare-up at this particular time. So as of now, we are in the prototype stage where this particular device is, you can say, 70% ready, and we are expecting that with all the testing and all, it should be ready to go into the market within 6 months. From the technology side, we have been able to basically cover up all the things. So after this, we need to get connected with the right partner. So we are in talks with some of the pharmaceutical giants, and with them, we'll be able to bring it to the market in a much better way. Our device is going to be exactly the same. Maybe it might be slightly broader in size because of the extra added electronics into it, but the size and the shape and the method of usage will be exactly the same. Since this particular device is going to be slightly smarter, so we can expect that when compared to a normal inhaler, it might be at double the cost. So if a medicine is being in the market for about 300 to 500 rupees, this particular device should be in the market for about 800 to 1500 rupees. There are 33 crore patients worldwide, out of which 2 crore patients are in India alone. Since it is a regular thing and it is a multiple usage device that we are trying to make it, so it should not be too much of a problem for a person to afford. And nowadays, I believe 1000 to 1500 rupees is not a very big deal for any of the middle class family also to afford. And this will make sure that this is typically to be used by the young generation, or you can say the young friends, the kids, and the very elderly people who might forget to take their medications on time. So this is typically important for them to be using this.
My name is Hanvesh Jalapalli and we are from Nirvesh Enterprises. So I manage the company. I'm the CEO of the company. So we are building India's first wearable technology which monitors the brain health management. So it's comprised of two parts, software and hardware. So software is completely app-based, where we provide the cloud-based services to the patient as well as the care providers. And the hardware is completely related to the point of care devices, diagnostic technology, where we'll be having the FNRI system, which is a complementary to fMRI, and also the EEG, which will be having a conventional method where we carry the EEG using the in-ear canal instead of a head cap. So this is the overall brief, but we are completely into two verticals, brain injury as well as the stroke management. So in our pathway, we are into epilepsy, schizophrenia and Parkinson's. Our solution is a post-operative care management, especially for caretakers as well as for the rehab centers. We are looking for funding of 4 crores for scaling up our product, and currently we are having grants from BIRAC as well as Nidhi Prayas. And we're thankful for the IKP support because of the mentoring as well as for the grant. So we are in a current state of validation where we are looking for the cohorts help also for the validated products. So once we are done, we will be going for the CDSCO license along with the EU MDR. We have challenges especially for the population and cohorts because it's a very niche population as well as the market where the penetration is very less in India. Once we have approval, then we can go for abroad.
My name is Dr. Shiv Shekhar Rai. I'm from Osmania University and from Biochemistry Department. And from that university, we have created a startup named Sensophil Biotech Private Limited. And here, we are developing a product that can actually revolutionize the detection of protein structure alteration. Like what happens in several cases, if you synthesize a protein, if you transport a protein, biosimilar, enzyme and antibody, what happens? There is a change of activity, change of its minimum structure. Now, what the setup is there as a state of art, like cyclodichromism, NMR, HPLC, those techniques are very, very costly and not affordable by all of them, and they are very much time taking. Here, what we are offering is a technique that can be used in a normal laboratory atmosphere using instrument like UV spectroscopy, simple image processing, and by doing that, you can say whether the protein structure is all right or there is any change of structure. So, without using any high-end instrumentation and inexpensive methods, we can give you an output that is given in a 10 times less expensive way compared to the state of the art. This is what we are presenting by this prototype. It's QC Prot TM. There are several benefits to start with. Suppose you are synthesizing a protein in a biopharma industry. Now there are several batches of processing you do. So if you have to quality control of all your batches through the existing techniques, it will cost you a fortune. But if you use our method by simply using 10 to 15 minutes using a very traditional instrumentation, you can finish everything and with 100% assurance and accuracy of your result. Suppose you are sending a protein for a transport purpose, and after the transport, when you are receiving a protein, whether it is coming to you in a proper condition or not, you can simply check that one by using this kit, and you will get the result whether the protein has any structural change or not. You can rely on something or not. Whether the protein which is lying on your desk for several years or several months even, whether that can be thrown away or that can be used. It's valid for very, very expensive proteins, which normally you buy once in a few years. Size market is huge. The biosimilar market in India itself is more than 200 to 300 crores. And if you see the global market in 2023, it is around it's around close to $1 trillion. It is close to $1 trillion, including biosimilars, enzyme, antibodies, everything. So our market is placed not in India, it's in US, Eurozone, Australia, China, Japan. So all those countries have potential to be used this technique because no such technique available globally. I can say globally, which can actually tell you the structure of protein, whether there is any change or not, using simple UV spectroscopy or using simple image analysis technique. Actually, our product that is QC Prot kit, so they can be used by biopharma, biotech who are actually synthesizing products, who are actually validating enzymes, antibodies, biosimilars for various kind of purposes, like creating life-saving drugs, point of care enzyme and drugs for identification of many methods. So on these cases, they can be a very much cheaper and efficient alternative compared to the existing techniques like CD, NMR, HPLC. We are in the prototype stage. We have validated on our own laboratory conditions. Now we are looking to validate in third-party validators, like in companies which will be interested to test our technique. we are actually finishing that proof of concept within a month. So we will be going for validation stage from next year. So hopefully within 1 to 2 years we will be ready to enter the market. And for that we will be needing funding for validation part, and also our national patent is already done. We are actually going to receive it within few months and applying for the international patent like a PCT. So PCT we are filing this month. So for that PCT purpose and validation purpose, we will be requiring an additional of 20 lakhs for that purpose, and to run the show, to get our lab doing our daily jobs. So for next 2 years, it will be around 20 to 30 lakhs more. So we are looking at between 50 to 70 lakhs for a complete commercialization of our product. For commercial production, the investment, main component will be kit development. So kit development in ISO regularized company. We are already in a few weeks away to get our own ISO regulation. We are going through ISO 13485 regulation certification. As soon as we get the certification, we can directly go with commercialization and preparation of our own kits. Then we can do it in-house, and with very much a sterile atmosphere, we can do it in ourselves. So for that we need to recruit more people. So in that case, recruitment budget, and for sterile component we may need an additional of around 10 to 20 lakhs, between 10 to 20 lakhs, based on how much we are getting the initial orders that will be required for our commercialization part. But that will be after 2 years from now, when our validation will be done. 1 to 2 years from now. We will start with national, and as soon as our international patent is granted, we will go for the international marketing as well. For IKMC actually provided such a nice platform that it's not only like presenting your thing, you're knowing so much from the other presenters as well. There are great mentoring sessions who have given excellent ideas and mentorships such that we can go to the next stages. So overall, a nice ecosystem has been derived from the IKMC. So we have attended IKMC for last 2 years, but that was online. So you never get the actual flavor until you go to the offline or physical mode. So this is an excellent experience as far as in our case is concerned.
We are an award-winning company. We are working in health tech. We have this device. It is a made-in-India device. This is called handheld spirometer. This device is connected through via Bluetooth to our app. Our company is established in 2018. We actually work very deeply in understanding the respiratory issues, the health issues around the chest and around the lungs. We are already been working very closely with the Government of India. Our device is CDSO approved, and we are into the market for upscaling ourselves. We are associated with CCMB for last 1 year. We are using our device particularly for understanding the COPD issues in masses, and we are very happy to be here to showcase our product, to understand what we can help government and what we can help the private sector to understand the lung problems. So we are the product is market ready. We are already working in market. We are working through hospitals in Maharashtra region mostly. Due to COVID, our market readiness got little delayed, but it's okay. It was a part of up and down of a startup, I can say. We are already here to give an idea to government how the mortality rate can be reduced by doing a pre-testing of people or masses for the lung functionality. The funding part, I can say, we have been fortunate enough because of Dr. Ramji's help. We have been given a few grants from the Government of India, also Government of Telangana, like Nidhi for COVID, and we look forward for a B2B kind of a sector through government and through other private players who can make a policy where we do a mass screening of people for COPD and asthma. Like in children also, there is a lot of asthma segment which is unidentified or unspoken about. So we really look forward but for more connects and more understanding in the market and in the government to make this screening is one of the most vital parameters in the most diagnostic sector. Yeah, so what we call it as a project SAVE. We have done this kind of a project in COVID in Mumbai Municipal Corporation as well. Now we are doing it under the central government, under Honorable Minister Dr. Bharti Pawar. Under her constituency in Nasik, we are going ahead with this project where we do mass screening of the people. In the mass screening, we get to know how the health is of the patient or the person who has been. And further to that, we take that person or the patient ahead for the treatment or the further diagnosis. So this device basically, sir, can do 3 type of testing. It can do a screening, it can do a mini spirometry, and it can do a total PFT, that is a total functions test of the patient. This is very useful for the TB recovered patients also. So as India leads for India minus TB or India without TB, this device can help TB patients to understand how they have come out of TB, how their lungs are working after TB. And yes, COPD is a silent killer which nobody talks about. So we actually work very closely for COPD and asthma reduction. Right. So AIC CCMB came to us through Dr. Ramji, of course. Me and the company, myself and Dr. Ramji are working closely in some other, organizations' work. And we got this opportunity to be associated with CCMB. And I can definitely tell you one of the coolest place, even if it is the technology place, because the whole atmosphere in CCMB is so cohesive for the startup. We won't feel any pressure for asking any help, and I always believe that any startup should keep asking for help, because nothing is person made or self made. You need an organization like CCMB who gives you a helping hand, where we can put up our idea into the market. We can get a support, not only a technical support but otherwise also a networking platform. So we are really very fortunate to be associated with CCMB for last more than 1 year now. Thank you so much.
I am Dr. Senthil Vinayagam, Chief Executive Officer and Principal Scientist of A-IDEA, one of the technology business incubator of ICAR North. We have partnered with My Startup TV on their OTT channel to share or to showcase all our events, programs, activities in the promotion of startups and also entrepreneurs. We understand that My Startup TV OTT channel is one of the world, the first platform which has dedicated for startups and entrepreneurs. We are happy to be a part of with them for last 3 years to organize every event, and I request you can check out from our My Startup TV OTT channel to see all our programs in a due course of time.
We are a core data science company, and our expertise is building knowledge integration platforms using semantic intelligence technologies. At AIC CCMB, we are building a genomics platform to basically detect, diagnose, and research rare genetic disorders in humans. Yeah, so we have just about completed our MVP, and we have launched our alpha. Oops. Okay. Yeah, sure. We've just launched our alpha version of the platform. It's currently undergoing testing at CCMB and CDFD. Yeah, so we've been able to raise quite an amount of funding in the last 1 year, thanks to the support that we have received from CCMB. We will take roughly about 3 to 6 months to hit the market. And Yeah, we've received a lot of support from AIC CCMB in terms of setting up the data contract. As you understand, our platform requires a lot of data to be able to test it across a wide range of diseases. And we've received support not only on the data front, but also from domain front. We have a lot of CCMB scientists and clinical geneticists who are actually testing our platform. Yes, in fact, our initial framework that we developed, we presented in the prestigious data science conference in India, and our entry was won the best demo award at that particular platform. Yeah. We have raised close to 1.5 crores from multiple areas. The mighty DST grant, and then there was a angel fund also that we raised. We also raised the NSTEDB grant. We are looking for another round of close to 1 or 2 crores to go further until we hit the commercial stage. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I am Dr. Gaurav Gupta, the Chief Operating Officer at Avishkaran,